Hey everyone, it's Grant Winsauer, and I'm coming back to you guys with another edition of the Bear Claw Cast today. And it's kind of surprising because I wasn't planning on doing a video till Friday. But there was some news that came out about, I would say, an hour ago. And it's a Joe Thuney extension. So I thought that I would do a quick little video on that and give you my instant reaction to that extension. So the deal is 2 years for $35 million, which comes out to $17.5 million a year for the next 2 years. But he still had this his last year with the Kansas City Chiefs contract, which was worth $16 million. So in all total, Joe Thuney will make $51 million across 3 years with the Chicago Bears, and that keeps the interior of this offensive line around until the end of Caleb Williams's rookie contract, because Jonah Jackson is going to be around for 3 years because he had 2 years left on his Rams contract when we traded for him, and we gave him a 1 year extension, and then we signed Drew Dalman for 3 years, $42 million at the beginning of free agency. And then with Joe Thuney, we we traded for him a couple days after we traded for Jonah Jackson, and everyone knew that when we traded a fourth round draft pick for him, it was going to be a long term, or not necessarily like a long term um, trade and sign, but we knew that he was going to be around for more than a year. So I mean, so we got him for $17.5 million a year uh, for the next 2 years on his extension, and then he's got $16 million this year with his final year for his Chiefs contract. And to be honest with you, I thought that he was going to be asking for like 20 million or somewhere around there. And to get him for 17 and a half is a pretty good deal, in my personal opinion. And now the Bears have a very good um, offensive line combination with possibly Braxton Jones or Ozzie Trapillo at left tackle, Joe Thuney at left guard, Drew Dalman at center, Jonah Jackson at right guard, and Darnell Wright at right tackle. I mean, that's a very good offensive line, and this was in. It was reported that for about 2 weeks that the Bears were in talks with Thuney about an extension. David Kaplan reported it, who is a very good Bears beat reporter. Uh, Slick Rick, who is a more of a rumor guy on Twitter, but he was right about this one. But he said that it would come out in a few days after he reported it about 2 weeks ago. It took 2 weeks for that to be right, but still he was right. So that's another good one. I mean, you know, when we traded a fourth round draft pick for him, I knew that he was going to be here long term. I just didn't know when the extension was going to happen, but it happened before off-season workouts began, which actually their first round of OTAs start today. In fact, I don't think there's anything on Twitter about highlights yet, but I'm gonna check anyway. just to see. Um, yeah, I don't see anything on that related, but so here's a ESPN story on Joe Thuney's contract. So he'll get 33.5 million guaranteed at signing. So that's like 98% of the contract. And then he'll get, and then, technically it's a 3-year contract because of his final year with the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's see what else is in here. I mean, now I don't think this will happen, but if God forbid something happens where Braxton Jones and possibly Ozzie Trapillo go down with injury, Thuney could technically move to left tackle, but that's not his natural position. His natural position is at left guard, and if this offensive line can stay healthy, excuse me, sorry, I would imagine that Thuney stays at left guard hopefully the whole season. So I want you guys to put down in the comment section what your thoughts are on this extension, and how you feel about it. Because I mean, in my personal opinion, I feel great about it because it's it gives the offensive line room finally a long-term guy that has won and is a leader, and can teach young guys like Trapillo or Karan Amagaji or Luke Newman, the ropes in terms of how to transition from college football to NFL football. But I mean, I also have to give Ryan Poles a round of applause because he struggled a little bit when he first got here. He didn't have any money his first year, and then the next year he wanted to fix the defense because of Matt Eberflus. And then last year he went all in on offense, but he went all in on offensive weapons, not offensive protection. And in my personal opinion, when you're getting a quarterback, you probably should go all in on offensive protection first, and then get the offensive weapons. But he fixed it. He fixed it this year with the acquisition of Jonah Jackson, Joe Thuney, and Drew Dahlman behind the recommendation of new head coach Ben Johnson. And I mean, it's finally being taken care of, where the Bears are addressing the offensive line with top end players, because they had addressed it in the past, but it's been, more like stopgap players where the player would come for a year or 2 years. And, now they're getting players to believe in the scheme and in the system. And I mean, I can't wait to see this when it's on full pads, and we get to see Caleb Williams, actually have time in the pocket. Because remember, Caleb Williams threw for 3,500 yards and 20 touchdowns behind an abysmal offensive line. And now he has probably a top 10 offensive line, at least on paper. Now, I know that on paper and on the field are two different things, but Joe Thuney has missed only 2 games in his career, and Jonah Jackson's best years were when Ben Johnson was his offensive coordinator, or when he was with Ben Johnson. And then Drew Dahlman, he's been a high end center. He just he broke his ankle last year, so he did miss a couple of games, but he's getting back, he's getting healthy, and I mean, again, the Bears, they also got some O line depth in Trapillo and Luke Newman, but they also got uh, um, Colston Loveland and Luther Burden as pass catchers. To run 12 personnel with 2 tight ends and to give Caleb Williams top 3 top 3 receivers in DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, and Luther Burden. And it's gonna be this team is gonna be exciting to watch, but we also have to realize that it's gonna take a minute for them to adjust to the new system. So, I mean, I'm trying to think of like when you could see the whole team in like be adjusted to it. I would assume my best guess would be week 4. This team is totally adjusted, which actually is funny because we have a week 5 bye. So technically, I should probably just say week 5, because then, the first month they'll figure out what they're good at and what they need to run more, and then week 5 they'll adjust to that, and then they'll highlight those things in their system. But I will be back with my friend Eric, because my usual co-host is out on a vacation, and I can't wait to actually have him talk about that, because he is visiting some of the sports landmarks while he is on this vacation, and so I will have my friend Eric fill in as my co-host / guest on Friday to talk about how the first OTA went, because that starts today and then goes until Thursday. So Friday we will have the OTA and some other stuff to talk about. But I think that's going to be all for me today. I didn't really expect this news to happen, but I knew I had to do a short video on this. So comment down below what you think about Joe Thuney's 2-year, $35 million extension, and let me know just what you think they're going to do next, and then remember to like, comment, and subscribe so I can keep bringing you the best Bears content possible. Have a good rest of your week, everybody.